Hello, everybody, and welcome to What We Are Watching. I, unfortunately, am starting this podcast for you.
No, we love you.
That's great. Well, breaking your own rules. So that was John starting, and
This is Ed.
And Catherine.
Hi, it's Liz.
I don't know what they're inflicting upon me, but I guess I'm going to start. So here's mine.
All right, go.
Go for it.
I actually watched it probably, or I went to the theater and saw more like when it came out. That movie, The Lost City.
Ooh, cool.
I'm excited about that. I haven't, ventured out, but I want to see it.
No, you're in the Lost Cave. It's fine. So, I mean, look, I don't know who needed to be sold on this. I mean, you have Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock, two, favorites as far as I would think. And you already knew from the preview you had Daniel Radcliffe.
Sure.
Theoretically as a villain, but I mean, come on. Harry Potter's in your movie. Why wouldn't you like it?
I did hear a very funny little bit, Sandra Bullock in an interview being like, and Dan has signed on. She's like, Dan? What do you mean Dan? You mean Daniel? And then she was like, then I found out, oh no, he does like to be called Dan. So, okay. It's not, you do hear when people refer to him as Dan and you're like, that's so familiar. But, that's his name.
I'm a little bit disappointed that there's not a Antonio Banderas villain in this. That would
can't do it
the
every
third
week.
one. It was so good.
I did randomly see the Pain and Glory title, but unrelated. Not doing that today.
Okay.
Did Sandra Bullock produce it?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, good for
Okay,
her.
good for
Love that.
Yeah, she produced that last Netflix one. Not both of them, but one of them, and then. But yeah, she's working on that, and so this is one of them. Yes.
Love it.
So, in addition, you also had a couple other people that you definitely recognize, include. I don't know if you saw him in the preview, but Bowen Yang from Saturday Night Live had a little piece in there that was
love
funny.
Him.
And then you also, yes, you did see this in the preview, but Brad Pitt is indeed in this movie.
I also heard a rumor that she had to ask him for an extra day for free.
What?
Oh.
Look, reshoots are impossible, or, an extra day, you're like, oh, well, I don't know where that would have fit. But for a moment, I'm going to step back and say, overall, this movie's not perfect, but it's definitely fun. Sandra Bullock has had many fantastic partners. Her and Channing Tatum are maybe not as good as some of the other partnerships, but it's still great. They're still very good.
I like the conceit that he's sort of like a Fabio model for the covers of the romance novels, but then wants to try and rescue her. Isn't that the bit?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that's very funny. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, I did, I don't do, well, it's funny. My behind-the-scenes research is somehow different from everybody else's, but I did happen to see, because, Channing Tatum, you always suspect, for many other of his movies, he comes across as very naturalistic, and so you're like, well, is that just the way he delivers the dialogue, or does he do some improv? And having not looked into this at all, but I think it is somewhat, he does improv it as well, because supposedly Sandra could not keep it together for all of these, so some of these are maybe not the best takes, or, they had to cut some stuff.
Oh, really?
Yes, not that it didn't suffer for that.
I do know Jonah Hill and him when they did.
Ooh, they're so good.
Yeah, they're a good combo, and they have talked about
21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street, they will improv and riff and find a groove, and sometimes that makes it into the movie.
Yeah, so it definitely, there's a little bit of that here, and it does work, but apparently not as much because Sandra couldn't take it.
That's funny. She's like, no, I can't keep it together.
And he's taking a little break from movies for a little bit, so
yes,
this is
indeed.
a comeback.
Although came back strong. I want to see both Dog and this, but
the dog one where he escorts a dog to a funeral.
And supposedly,
he's a vet. Is that what
military
veteran? Oh, that's what you meant. Oh,
yeah,
I see.
He's a veteran.
Yeah. Look, I think it's slightly less of a just completely soft feel good or whatever. It's a little bit stronger than that, but I haven't gotten to see it yet.
Gotcha. You mean the dog movie?
Your dog movie.
Oh, you're hilarious.
So he did two back-to-back. So this Lost City is in movie theaters, or can you stream it as well?
It's still in movie theaters. It's been a couple weeks, but it's still there.
Nice.
Maybe it's going to get knocked out with the next upcoming sets of stuff, but as of now, it's still there.
Okay, I have a question that is a reference that you will not get, but maybe Liz will. When I saw the trailer, just the basic vibe of it. Did you get like a Romancing the Stone vibe?
Yes.
Like, I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I just was like, is this basically a remake?
even the car, and I'm not spoiling anything unless you're like John and do not watch trailers because it
And
was,
don't wanna know anything,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was in the trailer. They basically have a car go off a cliff. I instantly thought of that actually.
Or even just
and
that
sort of the
she's-
reluctant romance.
Yeah, and she's a writer.
You thought of My Little Pepe?
Yeah.
Oh my
That's-
God.
Good job. I wasn't
Joan
sure.
Wilder?
The
Joan Wilder? The best.
yes.
Such a good movie.
It's absolutely going for that. Unfortunately, it might suffer that comparison. But
Well, all right. I do love her
That's
outfit, though.
though, that is one that a lot of generations will have no clue and no comparison. But those of us that do, that is one of those ones that it is so good that I think recently we watched it with my son and he
Did you really?
yeah, it's totally there's nothing that inappropriate in it. I mean, I don't even think there's nudity.
In the plane, they get a little wacky tobacco action.
Yeah, but no.
Then they
I
eat
mean,
a snake, so that's a good lesson,
Yeah.
children. You'll eat snakes.
it's so good. And Danny DeVito. Oh my God, Danny DeVito's character with his brother.
Is this streamable? Where did you see it? I mean, Romancing the Stone.
Oh, I don't know. We can
Oh,
get-
watch it on HBO Max. Okay. Yeah,
There you go.
you can see it right now.
So you could back to back it, watch Romancing the Stone, then go to the movie theaters and see The Lost City.
I definitely think you should not do that.
Oh,
You should,
all right.
I mean, 6 months or more in between them.
Give yourself a break.
At minimum, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I brought it up then. Because, I definitely got Romancing the Stone.
From the ads.
From the ads, yeah. I mean, also.
Which did not throw me off. I still
No.
was intrigued to see it.
Yeah,
It looked
I-
like kind of a fun adventure. And then Dan Radcliffe in it definitely intrigued me.
Look, he's credited as Daniel, so I'm not his
Oh,
friend,
really?
so I'm not calling him that. It's Daniel.
You're not going to get that familiar with him? Okay.
You also have Sandra Bullock's, from The Office, and then a standout in The Proposal, but Oscar Nunez, again, plays
Oh, God, I love him.
Yes, he's again, not suffers the comparison of his character in The Proposal, but still fun in this as well.
Wait, hold on a second. Based on his character from The Proposal, and now
It's not connected. Stop.
No, I'm not saying connected. I'm just saying now that you've got Channing Tatum in this with him, you're not going to get a Magic Mike Nunez showdown. Come on.
Oh, you're totally right. That should have happened, but it didn't.
Actually, that probably did happen and got cut because Sandra couldn't handle it.
Yeah, actually, they're characters that would have been challenging to achieve, both just chronologically and thematically, but you could have, nothing should have stopped them, but didn't happen.
Oh.
The only other person, it's slightly part of the preview, but there's not a ton of information out there, and it's slightly misleading because it's sort of miscredited on IMDb or using a pseudonym. So look, if you're looking at IMDb, there's a character named Fantasy Villain, which I believe occurs in the trailer. So it's credited on IMDb as S-Lang or slang, one word. So, what does that mean? I don't know that it's officially a pseudonym, but I did eventually confirm it is Stephen Lang, who you would totally recognize from everything, including, most recently Avatar and...
Oh, okay.
wait, that's not getting it there for you guys. You don't know who I'm talking about.
I don't. I'm looking it up right now.
Oh man, you're gonna totally. He's been in everything. He's in Tombstone, Gettysburg, all kinds of stuff. There's some big ones that I'm not remembering because they're not big for me. Catherine, does it really not? You're looking at him now. You still don't recognize
What's
him?
his name again?
Stephen Lang, PH.
Stephen Lang.
Of course I recognize him. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you would once you looked it up.
I saw a bunch of those trailers that he recently, as the lead, is it Don't Breathe?
Yeah, that's a horror. So no, thank you.
Oh, sure, I know him. Oh,
But
God.
oh my gosh, he's 69 and looks like that?
Look, in Avatar, that was 13 years ago. You knew he wasn't young, but he's been looking good.
Yeah.
He looks freaking great. He has 4 children and is married to his wife since 1980. So you're an anomaly, Stephen Lang. You look fabulous. Long-term marriage, long career in Hollywood. Kudos
Good
to you.
job.
And I can't wait to see you in the next 4 avatars over the next 8 years.
Well, if we remember correctly, Avatar, I don't know that is how that works out for his character.
Yeah, he was a jerk in Avatar, the first one. And I don't...
Whatever, he's in the credits. Okay, I thank you, Ed, for your non-verbal pointing. So anyway, my point was that is indeed him. When you're in that scene and you're like, why do I kind of recognize this character? And then you look at the credits and there's no clue. that is indeed him. The internet is not helping you out yet, or it wasn't a week ago when I looked this up. The way I found out was he was on the red carpet for the event, and then the director had done an Instagram post, including a behind-the-scenes shot of him in the scene. So it was like, okay.
Now we know.
I feel 100% confident now.
But before that,
no, it was. I mean, look,
hard to figure out.
No, I was willing to not be confident when it was like, well, he's on the red carpet, but people go to the red carpet even when they're not in it. So
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're in the cast shot, then it's slightly less uncertain. But all right, that is all I have
do
to
want
say.
to know his secret because, good God, I'm looking at him. For the age of 69, he looks fantastic.
Fantastic.
Wow. All right.
There you go, the Lost City.
All right.
Okay, so then now that I'm swooning over another man, I'll go next because
Oh,
one of the things I watched was Deep Water
Deep Water.
on Hulu
Ooh.
with Ben Affleck. This was one of my solo watching. Did not want to watch it with my husband because I thought it'd be very sexy and like I would just enjoy it by myself.
It does say it's an erotic psychological thriller.
What it really is one of my favorite genres, which is infidelity.
Oh.
So, done by the master.
That read right. Deepwater did not sound like good times.
No, and it is done by one of my favorite directors in that genre. He is the king of it, Adrian Lynn.
What else has
Why
he done?
is he the king?
Why?
I don't know.
What do you
Okay.
mean? What's your?
He has done Unfaithful, Indecent Proposal, Fatal Attraction, Lolita, 9.5 Weeks, Flashdance. I mean, like, that
is a resume.
there is his incredible resume.
That is interesting. This is not a young guy.
No.
According to IMDb, a humongous break between Unfaithful and Deep Water, like 20 years.
Why not?
And Unfaithful, very, I don't want to say similar. Well, you know, it's always a very hot couple that is
Sure.
very, in a way, living a suburban, mundane, yet they are usually upper middle class lifestyle, right? So, you know, it's a nice lifestyle to look at. There's usually, I don't know why, there's always like one child, and the child is always odd. Always. Like Ellen in Fatal Attraction, Indecent Proposal. They didn't have a kid. Unfaithful did have a sort of an odd child. And Deep Water is the same thing. This kid, I thought this kid is the psychotic killer. I was wrong. So I didn't ruin anything there. But like, you know, he has elements that he plays out thematic through his movies. And freaking Ben Affleck looked hot as shit in it. I mean, good Lord. So it wasn't a mystery. You kind of just knew what was happening, but at the same time, it was so enjoyable, especially to watch it home in the dark on my laptop with Mark sleeping next to me. And be like, oh my God. Like, it's like,
Is that really the right atmosphere for anything?
Wait, do you wear headphones? I
Yes.
don't understand. You wear
Yes.
headphones.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
because we still, to keep the romance alive in our household, so we don't become an infidelity genre movie, we don't have a TV in our bedroom. But I'll take my laptop in there and watch something.
Well, that's your kind of cheating. I don't know.
We don't have a TV, but we cheat all the time.
Now, they also had...
Wait, so your TV infidelity?
Right. That's where I hide when I'm watching and you can't
screen
Do
infidelity.
you watch it in high infidelity?
see. But you know what's interesting? This one, I would say there was really no redeemable, likable character.
Oh, okay.
I mean, super attractive. They had parties, like adult parties. You were like, are they all swingers? Like, what is happening here? Like, I've thrown adult parties, and these are like kind of crazy. And I don't know where it was supposed to be taking place, like what town. I mean, he does sexy towns, like, oh, New York or, you know, outside San Francisco and places like that. But
So it was like,
Wait, this says it's in a small town.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't identifiable, the town. But I mean, talk about tons of attractive people in an attractive town. I'm like, I want to move there. And they all like are very flirty and like, I mean, like very flirty and looked very wealthy. I mean, so the wife character, Melinda, is played by Ana de Armas.
Ana de Armas.
Thank you. I'll just call her Ana.
That's perfect.
So, and I
Was
guess
she in Knives Out? Is that who
yes.
that is? Mm-hmm.
And they love to do close-ups of her cute, beautiful little face. And I mean, I don't know the age difference between the two of them. It seemed a little bit off, but whatever. I just
Weren't
went
they
with-
dating after
Yes,
this?
because I think
because
the
of this.
sex scenes are so steamy that like
They were like into each other.
Yes.
After.
And then Tracy Letts was in it, who always plays a
love
Tracy
Tracy Letts.
is the best.
he always plays kind of a
God, he's such a. He plays the best jerk.
jerky.
Oh, he's amazing.
And he nailed it. And I gotta give a shout out to the kid, Grace Jenkins was her name, but she played Trixie. I don't know, like she scared me a little bit. So I'm just saying. So it had twists and turns, infidelity, sexy Ben Affleck, he looking really good in it. And he always, the last couple movies, he plays a character where it's like the emotional level is like very plateaued.
Low.
But there's something simmering underneath there. So yeah.
I had
like a deep water.
I had one question, and I'm guessing not a big role. Is Jacob Elordi from Euphoria?
Oh, yes.
Recognizable? All right.
Oh, he's
all right.
recognizable.
Because he's right in the category of problematic.
Oh no, there were some good
Fits right into that movie.
cameos and bit parts. I mean, like I said, Anna and Ben are the leads, and then Tracy comes in almost halfway through the movie and definitely plays a significant part. But then there are other characters that come in and out, including Jacob from Euphoria. He is hot as shit. I'm saying like everybody was so freaking good looking, and then also Little Rel was in it, and he has been appearing in things like Free Guy. Awesome in that. Get Out was
I was
awesome
gonna say,
in that.
wasn't he the best friend in Get Out?
Yes. So he's
You would like call him on the phone.
get out, literally get out. But he was very enjoyable in this as well. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I definitely think it's if this is a genre that you enjoy, then I definitely think it's worth your time.
There is a slight New Zealand crossover.
What? Who?
So Rachel Blanchard,
Oh, yeah.
infamous from the video of Business Time from Flight of the Conchords.
Business time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she,
I gotta go to work in the morning.
Yeah, infamous to people who like Flight of the Conchords.
which I love, Fly the Concords, but
I do, but I wouldn't have recognized
Well,
her.
you remember nothing.
Well, that's not true.
and
I
I'd say
remember
I'm trying to think like, I mean, she wasn't a huge big part in it, but I definitely know who you're talking about. I know the part she played too. So I gotta recommend. It's an hour and about 15 minutes, drama mystery. So that's on Hulu. And he did something similar in the movie Unfaithful, which had Diane Lane and Richard Gere in it, where the end of it, you are not sure. He doesn't really wrap it up. Like he leaves it to where you don't know if it's going to be okay.
Oh.
It's weird because that's the type of movie he's doing doesn't lean into the Hollywood ending. It kind of leans into a little bit of a mess at the end.
Well, it wasn't even that it was a big mess. You just thought, well,
What does that mean? Yeah.
now, and in Unfaithful, Richard Gere, you really felt for him. You felt for him and his family, and you felt like, oh man, this has just become a huge mess. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. Diane Lane is so freaking gorgeous in it. It's unbelievable. But, you feel kind of bad for all of them. Like, this has just become a huge fucking mess that's messed up their whole lives. And you just feel for them. And you're like, oh God, don't turn yourself in. And you don't know. So,
I tend to watch Hitch for life lessons on what I should or shouldn't be doing, as
Jeez.
opposed to Unfaithful. That's
Yeah, no.
that's the barometer.
yeah, I mean, this is marriage gone way off course. But this one, like I said, there really wasn't anybody in the end you were rooting for. Even the 8-year-old, I was like, you're scary. You're a little asshole. Like, I don't know. So like in the end, there wasn't one person you're like, oh God, this is so awful. You're like, I don't know. You're all kind of despicable people. So, but beautifully shot. Like I said, you're just like, wow. I just want to go to a party where this shit show would be going on, and then I get to leave. That's what I'd like to do. The one other thing I'd like to mention, I'm in the process of watching, and I will bring up, because it's only 3 episodes have only aired, is Moon Knight now on Disney Plus. And
Can you possibly handle doing it spoiler free? I haven't watched any episodes.
yeah, I'm not gonna say-
I'm catching up on Marvel. I'm like 20 hours behind, so chill out. on
no.
doing it.
Well, I've got
I have like 3 series left and 2 movies.
But I've got a 14-year-old at home.
Yeah,
So if it's
you
family
can't stop.
watching, it's like, boom, we're in. So we are family watching this, which actually, this was the E squared watching. It was Ethan and Elizabeth. So Ethan and me watching it. And then Mark was like, caught us and was like, what the
all. You jerks.
I'm like,
You were asleep.
he was asleep or he's out. I mean, like I said,
You got to have something to
there's
do.
got to have some things to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're 3 episodes in. Oscar Isaac is the lead. I had never heard of this Marvel character before. It is so visually stunning, so highly recommended. I'll follow up with it once you maybe should watch it too, Ed.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke is in it.
Yeah.
Who I freaking love. So, yeah. So I watched Deep Water. I recommend it if you're an infidelity fan of genres.
If you want a
Yeah.
non-family watch,
Yes.
a break up the family watch,
Yeah.
infidelity.
Family watching Moon Knight, and it's spelled KN, as if he was like a knight.
Oh, sure. Mhm.
There you go. Okay, so I actually am watching a couple more things, but those are the 2 I'm going to focus on this week.
All right, good. Okay, I'll go. So I just finished Severance.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, on Apple.
that's getting
TV.
great reviews.
It is amazing. I loved it.
Really?
So if you haven't heard anything about it, it stars Adam Scott, who people know from all sorts of things. From
Party down.
Party Down was
Loved
the
it.
original.
One of my favorite stepbrothers.
Oh,
Parks and Rec,
I was going to say Parks and Rec, but
and The Good Place.
and The Good Place. Wow, you guys are like,
Yeah.
you guys have
Don't
got
worry
it.
about it. We got you covered.
Okay, so Adam Scott, amazing. It's a workplace sci-fi sort of situation. I don't want to get too into it because it's a great premise. And it kind of did. Any of you watch Black Mirror, All or Part or whatever?
Yes.
It's kind
Yeah.
of the same vibe in that, like, here's a new technology, and when you think about how it could impact people's lives and really like take that storyline and expand it out, you can really figure out like, oh, some bad things might come out of this. It sounds like a good idea. But they do such a beautiful job of showing the minutia of this sort of office life and then the juxtaposition of the other half of the people's lives. So they're in office life and they're out of office life. Anyway, it's fantastic.
And Ben Stiller is involved with it. How?
Ben Stiller directed, I want to say half the episodes, but
Oh, okay.
a lot of the episodes. So
Okay.
he directed definitely like the first 2 or 3. Initially, I guess he was only on board to direct the first episode, but he,
Yeah, 6 of 9.
yeah, 6 of 9, so a lot. And it's visually done so well. The Office is very stark and interesting, and they show it in an incredibly good way, like, visually. And then the outside world also, it's just shot so beautifully.
Well, Patricia Arquette, who's one of my favorite
so we've
actors. Well, actually, when you look at the cast list, it's like, wow. You have John Turturro,
John Turturro, sure.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. I mean, look,
Oh my, what a cast.
the cast is fantastic, and they're all put to really good use. I mean, yeah, so it's 9 episodes, and they were kind of coming out one at a time initially, but they're all out now. So people,
I saw a very positive
people-
reaction to that online.
People
Yeah.
were catching up and then just went bananas.
Right. That's exactly what I saw.
So I watched it over the last, I don't know, couple days or something. Christopher Walken is just a delight. You're like, oh, he's so great. Just to like, John Turturro, he is fantastic, very odd and like perfect and just doing a real weird John Turturro thing. There's this guy, Zachary Cherry. If you pull him up on IMDb or whatever, you will recognize him from all sorts of stuff. He's been just popping up, and he is so fun, and I love him. Anyway, he's got a real big meaty part in this, which is nice,
good
because
for
usually
him.
he's got like a smaller little
Comic
thing.
relief.
Yeah. I remember he did one episode of, my daughter was very into the show Magicians, and he did one episode, but I remember it so clearly that I'm always like, oh, it's that guy from The
Oh,
Magicians.
I recognize
Yeah,
him.
he-
Yeah.
And then after that, he disappeared.
First of all that matters was his part in first season of You. Let's be honest.
Oh my
When I
gosh.
He had
saw
butter fingers. He had butter fingers.
Well, okay, I don't know what that is, but when I did see that he was in You, yeah,
John
You
and I
are
watch
the worst,
You.
Catherine. Although, actually, did you not really watch that? Because I've dragged you. I talked you through the entire season.
What, You?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm never gonna watch
Yeah,
it. You
I-
told me literally beat for beat
Yeah.
what happened.
At some point, it was like right after I'd finished it, or I don't know what. It was probably like hour and a half rendition.
Oh my God, you were hysterical. You're like, now I will tell you, but are you going to watch it? I'm like, no, I'm never going to watch it. Okay, then I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you everything. And then you literally, for an hour and a half to 2 hours, told me I didn't even know who anyone was. I was just like, I was like making dinner or something.
Wait
I'm
a
like,
minute. Were
go
you?
up.
I don't like this story anymore.
Hold on a second. Isn't this exactly what you want all the time? That's why you want to do this podcast, so that you can just ramble on
For
whatever
sure.
topic.
I thought
we
it was
hold you
great.
back from an hour and a half.
No, he was just like, it was so fun because he was just really like, and then this happened, and then I couldn't believe that
Yeah,
this
but
happened.
you weren't paying attention apparently. So we
I
have to
was
no,
paying attention.
We're gonna move on.
Oh,
if you're
you're
gonna
a
lie,
jerk.
we're gonna move on.
Well, look,
Yeah, I see he's in a lot of.
he's fantastic.
great.
So,
Good for
and
him.
this is a big deal for him, for me anyway. It feels like it's a big part. So I would like that for him.
you know, it's so the two of you. You know, you've been working so hard, and now it's really paid off.
His
Your
biggest
support
fan.
of him. I got it. I thought of when I saw the ads for it, there was a little part of me that thought Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, of where, there's a manipulation of separating emotions from yourself, basically.
Well, that and that's very spot on. It also brings up that idea of like, how good is this for you? In terms of just psychologically. So very much that's what happens in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. You think it's a good idea, and then it turns out that's not actually healthy for you to have any kind of a divorce from, even if something hurts or whatever. There's a little bit of that for sure.
I'm definitely going to watch it because I also feel this last 2 years of the work from home vibe, also the pushback of now that you're working at home, people are kind of saying, hey, wait a minute, I need boundaries for my work.
Oh, yeah.
I really do need to turn off because I'm freaking, my office is my home.
Some people, their office is like in their bedroom. There
so I
is
have
almost
to have
no-
some now boundaries. So yeah, I'm excited to see it. And like I saw it come out and I was like, oh, okay, I need to check that out. And then exactly the finale, there was a big reaction to it. And I was like, oh, it's on my list.
Yeah, it just gets better and better.
Ooh,
and
it's
better.
so exciting.
Yeah, so
On Apple.
Yeah, and I'm waiting with bated breath to hear if there's a season 2. So let's hope. I would think because
yeah, at some point in April of this last 2 weeks, it has been announced renewed for a second season.
Thank goodness. Yeah, good, because we need it.
Oh, well, that's a bit disappointing. So I guess he gets rehired. Just kidding.
What?
Because the whole show is called Severance, so I'm assuming. I'm making a hilarious joke based
about
on
like a severance package, like you've been fired. That's
Obviously
that's
Yep,
not
yep,
how they're
yep.
using it. But yeah, it was really good. It was a good use of the word severance. So I just devoured it over the last couple days and really enjoyed it. I think that was all the cast people that I wanted to give the shout out to. Oh, Tremel Tillman, he's great in it. Real wonderful and sort of complicatedly creepy. And he's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in Hunters and he was in Dietland, both of which I saw. It's funny, you can sometimes not recognize somebody until they like have some part that like really sticks in your mind. So even though I saw both of those, I didn't recognize him when I was watching it, but then like retroactively, I'm like, oh, that was you in those things. Got it. He's great. Yeah. So, and other than that, I finished up Dropout.
Same here.
Yeah. What a great ending.
Yeah.
I mean, it ended in a good
She'll
spot.
be nominated for an Emmy for sure.
Oh gosh. I mean, her whole performance is
She's
so bananas and amazing.
Diabolical.
I mean,
I just don't think, I think she truly believed her own narrative and it was interesting. I just listened to a podcast with Dr. Drew, and he was breaking down what's a narcissist, what's a psychopath.
Oh, uh-huh.
And I think she was a narcissist, but she really didn't have feelings.
Yeah, I don't think she realized what she was doing or who she was.
And then she also believed
hurting,
that
yeah.
they would get there.
Yeah, so it was all going to be fine. In her mind, it was like, it doesn't matter because it was part of the process. We're on our way. We're going to get there.
John, that's why I'm starting every morning now with green juice.
Oh, God.
Just kidding.
I don't quite follow the correlation.
It's so, I don't know what it is. Like halfway through, when she rebranded or redid her image, one of the things that she would do, drink this green juice, and it just looked awful.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking a lot of green juice, and I now think of her, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not that Elizabeth.
No. Yeah.
Well, there are the true green juices, besides wheatgrass or whatever. They're like, well, this is lettuce turned into liquid and does not taste good. Then there's the green juice that they sell.
Yeah,
is fine.
mine's pretty good. I mean,
okay.
yes.
I
but-
make a green smoothie every morning that is really weird and
It's
probably
incredibly weird. Don't bring it up.
Okay, sorry. And I also finished season 2 of Bridgerton, so I'm all caught up.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm all caught up on those.
It was funny. Our sister, who I'll go on walks with, I'm like, come on, finish it. And she called me the other night. She goes, I don't know if I can finish it.
What? How could? What?
Because there was a big complaint. There was not a lot of like sex in this
No,
one.
it was not a sexy time.
So I'm like, were you looking for mom porn and then you're not getting it? Like, what is happening here? And she's like, kind of. And she just wasn't feeling as attached to some of the characters as last season. I don't know why, but I was like, okay. I enjoyed it.
I did too. I mean, look, it had a very different story arc.
Yes.
But I was into it. I mean,
The Viscount. Mm-hmm. I'm a gentleman.
yeah. Well,
The heavy breathing, because I always have, for some reason, I have the subtitles on. I've just left it on. And the amount of times it said deep breathing on there, it was like 1,000. I think I put it up on our social.
What are you doing? Are you a child watching YouTube? Turn them off.
No, because I don't know why. I need both, especially when I'm watching in the
very
dark.
funny.
But I mean, so much. Deep breathing, like, oh my gosh, the two of them.
Well, maybe that helps because does that help you pay attention? Because if
Yes.
you have to look at it to read it,
Yes.
as opposed to looking at your phone.
That's true. Double screening, but
Yeah,
I
double
don't
screening.
double screen in bed. I get in bed and I just watch something, which still doesn't really put me to sleep. If I read something,
yeah.
it
Then
can't
you're going to
count.
drop off.
Otherwise, I like watch 3 episodes. Something. It's like, oh my god, go to
I
bed.
mean, it's so funny. We have a TV in our bedroom, but I do not watch TV in the bedroom. Eric will have it on just like all the time on the History Channel, falling asleep to some horrible thing about Nazis. It's crazy. I don't know how. He likes the narrator's voice or whatever. So it's either like all those shows about living in Alaska. He can fall asleep to anything. It's crazy. I don't understand at all. I'll come in and he's like completely zonked out and like something terrible about World War II is playing, or somebody's like hunting in Alaska, or like, searching for gold in the Barren Straits or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even. I just turn it off.
Is he in
immediately.
Osborne? John and I were just watching Jack and Ozzy Osbourne. They have a road trip show, which is
they
very
do.
funny. And they're both obsessed with like World War II and anything to do with like,
Well, definitely Ozzy more so, apparently. That is like a singular focus.
yeah, I mean, anything with tanks, Nazis, the World War I or II. I mean, he is all into it. So it's the same type of thing. We did not grow up with parents that had a TV in their bedroom. We were not allowed televisions in our bedroom.
No. Mm-hmm.
And I could definitely not go to sleep with one in the bedroom. I do like to go to a hotel and watch TV because then it's like a special, like, ooh, TV watching in the hotel room.
I for sure can get so sucked into literally anything, even if I don't even care about it. I'll be like, I mean,
Like
so-
the Alaskan trucker show.
Oh my God, it's terrible. So like I'll come in and he'll often be tired and go to bed before me. So he's asleep and some Alaska show is on and I don't want to turn it off because it's basically the only light that's on in the room. So I'm like, and plus it'll muffle any sounds of me, moving around and getting ready for bed or whatever because I don't want to wake him up. And then next thing I know, I'll be standing there like looking at the TV, watching some person in Alaska talking about how much wood they've got to cut, or like they got to
get through
smoke their
winter.
fish, or like whatever. I'm like, hi, Catherine, it is 11:30. Turn this off and go to bed. You don't even care about any of this. Oh my God. Eric, it's the funniest thing. I don't know. He can just totally just like zone out. I don't know.
But he didn't watch Bridgerton with you, did he?
Oh, no. It was a treadmill show. I have a lot of treadmill shows that just like I just burn through because and stuff that I watch in between this and that and whatever. The shows that I watch with Eric take a long time for us to like get through.
Although he should have been interested. It's kind of in
think
his
we
wheelhouse.
Yeah, I think we started the first episode and he was vaguely not interested, and then
He
it was
does
like-
do that
he does,
recently.
Yeah, the one we're watching now is The Great. Season 2 of The Great came
yeah,
out, and it is unbelievably amazing. It looks fantastic, and it is so funny. Eric loves it, and yet it's taking forever because it's one episode a week, or then like we'll skip a week or like, because for us to like actually sit down and really be like, okay, let's watch The Great, I don't know. We have a couple shows that we are very slowly getting through, but the Great is a delight every time we watch it.
To Bridgerton, I will say that some people were also disappointed that the Duke was not coming back, and it was going to be focused more on the sons of, the Viscount trying to find a wife.
Anthony.
And Anthony.
Which is interesting because the sister came back.
Yes.
And they, they're like, sometimes she had the baby and sometimes she didn't.
Yes.
It's like, okay.
And so
but I guess the dude's not coming.
Yeah. And so at some point, I don't know why, was like, who is this Jonathan Bailey playing Anthony?
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
Hello, like a triple threat Broadway actor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
I did see him in Broadchurch. I remember him very well from that.
He's British.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think I knew that for sure. And he just did, I think, a production of The Company before Stephen Sondheim died.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, very accomplished. I was very intrigued by him. I was like, oh, so.
Well, he was real tortured. He was real hard.
I am a gentleman.
I know. He was really having a hard time this whole season. He was really like, holding it in.
He was so tense.
And he just had his plan, but it wasn't working out.
Because he needed to marry the diamond of the season.
Oh, the diamond. Oh my God.
Which both those girls were like, I don't know. The diamond was so.
I know. She was lovely, but yeah. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Ed, you're next.
Good. I'm definitely going to watch Severance.
That was quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It was a whole, because it wasn't meant to be that much of an update and a derail of other things. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Well, the good news is that everything I brought to the podcast this week is something that you guys recommended.
Oh, so they're all good.
I took the recommendations that you guys said, I really like this. I think you should watch it. And I'm sitting here going, okay, someone's got to pay attention. It is me. And I watched it. So for Liz and Catherine, technically, John and I just finished watching Space Force.
Oh, great.
Love it.
It was so fun. What'd you think?
Super fun.
What?
Right
Oh,
until the last 10 seconds. And then I'm like, what are you doing? What just happened? Did it
Wait, all
end?
the way through season 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so no spoiler alerts. I have not finished season 2 yet because that's a family. Well, I'm sorry, but it's a family watching one.
That's what happens.
Wait, hold on. Didn't you just announce that you did a family watching of 3 episodes of another show before you never mind. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yes.
It's fine. You recommended
what mood you're in.
and then I watched all of it for you like our old friend Jill, and now I'm ahead of you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Less space in this one, or no space. Yeah, no space in this season, right?
Yeah, I don't think they are. Yeah, they actually don't.
Just force, no space.
We're constantly dealing with the after effects of the moon. No, wait, there is a person.
Oh, well, I don't want to ruin anything. I just was referencing flights into space, like the actual cast leaving and going. There were like 3 or 4 space shows that came out right before this one. Everybody left. They went into space.
They're all in space.
But no one else has had a season 2. Maybe that's the issue. You got to do a whole bottle season on the planet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I enjoyed that. I also recommend, and that is one out of the 3 that I was going to bring up, because these are going to be short ones, because they're re-reviews.
Well, John Malkovich, we still have to give him a shout out.
He's amazing.
And even this
he's still amazing.
Season 2, he's so fabulous.
Yeah.
And ultimately, his character, I think, has got the most realness to him, even though he's ridiculous at times. He's inside his own head, Malkoviching.
Oh, sure.
But he doesn't just grow on you. He kind of grows on everybody.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I enjoyed him in that season and all of those. And I'm looking forward to more.
I hope more.
Do some more. Please do more. All right. So now specifically, John and Catherine.
No.
What?
I think John says he's watched this because I thought, I don't know, maybe not. But Catherine's the one that brought it up. I Want You Back.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Oh, yeah. I somehow timed it right that I had watched it before she brought it on the show and then was able to co-opt it.
Oh, right. I forgot that happened. You
And
jerk.
that's a movie, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And where can you watch that?
That's on Amazon.
Yeah, because Space Force is a Netflix show, correct?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
And then I think the only note that I had on I Want You Back is
Savannah.
I'll give this a re-review for the pod. Nailed it. I'm doing that. Good job, notes. I'm done with my notes. I did enjoy it. It was really funny. And I, as soon as they went to Savannah, I'm like, I know it.
Oh, you mean the location?
Every single location shot that they had, I was like, been there, worked there, lived there, been there.
Well, because those of you that don't know, Ed, you went to school in Savannah, SCAD,
Savannah
right?
College of Art and
we
Design,
went
yeah.
off on a whole tangent when
Yeah.
we brought this up before.
But we're assuming
The
these are new
Savannah
listeners.
connection.
Yeah,
well,
just to wrap
sure.
it up,
Just
yeah.
to make sure. I got it. Sorry.
And
Wait, how did you feel about Charlie Day?
love Charlie Day. I was
Always
a
loved
little
Charlie
bit
Day.
disappointed in the whole direction of the story because I had all the characters mapped out wrong. I loved how it ended, but I had different people working out at some point, and they didn't line up that way. Darn it. Okay, fine. But and also, what's his name from The Good Place?
Oh, I mean, Manny Jacinto. I mean, to me,
He's amazing.
As a non-Good Place 100% watcher, this was a perfect chapter for me with Manny Jacinto.
Yes, it was a long-lost twin of his character from The Good Place, like the non-Floridian version.
Yeah.
What was Jamie Gertz in it? I love her. She's listed in it, and I'm just like, I like
on.
her. Obviously, not a huge role since no one's remembering. She plays the character Rita. It says.
Oh, Jamie, what was she? I don't remember her in it at all.
Well, I mean, she's listed in it, so I'd be very shocked if she actually wasn't in it. Pete Davidson is in it.
Yeah, playing a
yes.
classic,
All right.
irritating Pete Davidson role.
It's
I
great.
forgot about that.
A little
That was a pretty
cameo.
good moment. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, Jamie Gertz. Now I'm going to watch it just to find out what she was in it. How about that?
All right. Well, and also
You'll have to report back.
as we mentioned before, Jenny Slate, there's a whole element of a play that happens that is amazing.
That we really think, Liz, that you're going to enjoy.
Oh, you know, I love any like high school theater club element.
It's
ever.
a middle school play with the most ridiculous production value ever, and
And you know what's
I
interesting?
mean, he came from New York.
Well, here's the deal.
He was doing experimental theater.
I did just go to my son's where he's going to go to high school, and they were putting on the Wizard of Oz, and we just wanted to go see what
they're up to.
what their production value was. Holy crap!
Yeah.
it was like mini Broadway. So my sort of like, oh, how can they have all this? This is high school. Is off.
no, they can't.
Oh, some of the singers were okay. Are you professionally trained? The costumes, the sets, incredible. Yeah.
Wow, nice.
So it is feasible. We didn't experience that.
No.
But it is feasible. So there you go.
All right, the internet came to the rescue in the wrong way, but Jamie Gertz, she is Charlie Day's boss at the retirement home company. Remember, she's like very distracted.
right.
It's fun. She's being not nice, which she frequently plays.
Okay, good. Good for her.
Now I remember.
All right. Okay. Now we've got it. All right.
All
What
right.
was your third thing, Ed?
All right. The third one that I was bringing to the table that I had watched because it was recommended from you guys is for Catherine.
Oh, what?
Ali Wong, Don Wong.
Oh, I mean,
It was really good.
it's amazing.
And of course, that's also available on Netflix. It's a stand-up special.
Oh, her stamp special. Okay.
It was, I mean, as you said, she's not pregnant in this one, so it's kind of a different direction of the jokes, and it was just, it was a great hour plus of laughs, and thank you for recommending it.
Sure. I do have a ridiculous topical timing
Yeah, Mike,
update.
that's interesting.
She just announced that she's getting divorced, which the entire Don Wong is about kind of what a great relationship they have, and a little bit of like, my husband is so cool and we're doing so great with our two daughters. I mean, there's a lot of incredibly funny material, but there is this little thread running through it about their relationship being good, and that he's done a very good job of being okay with her being incredibly successessal. And she makes jokes about like, his parents made her sign a prenup, ha ha ha, because now she makes all the money. She's like it's like, ooh, weird weird. to, like,
I have a
yeah.
question because I didn't do a triple view and watch her first 2 specials first.
Yeah.
How much is her marriage and stuff referenced? Because she's pregnant in those ones, so I would assume there's some conversation about how that happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of her bit earlier in those specials is just a lot of dirty sex stuff. So, but she does talk about her husband.
Which is the juxtaposition of then her being up there pregnant.
For sure,
Yeah,
which is part of the joke.
Yeah.
And then the second one, the second special, she talks a lot about having the baby and, that kind of stuff. I mean, the husband is and has always been one of the things in her act. I mean, and
they were together 8 years, so
Yeah.
married. So who knows? I would assume add on at least a few years, possibly dating. So that is a significant amount of time. I mean, she only has come in the zeitgeist awareness.
It hasn't been that long.
Yeah, I would say in the last
4 years, 5 years, maybe.
maybe 6 at the most. Yeah. So I think she had her comedy special Baby Cobra in 2016.
Well, that's what broke her open.
Yeah, and that's only 6 years ago.
Yeah, that was
right.
I mean, it's crazy to think that that's when she became known to most people, but yeah, pretty recent.
Well, look at that tie-in, Ed. Topical news too, right at the moment.
Good timing.
Yeah.
So that's the recommended reviewing.
Oh, there you go.
Well, there you go. I'm glad you enjoyed all of our recommendations.
Okay, so once again, to recap, I watched Deep Water on Hulu in the, like I said, infidelity genre, and along with Moon Knight, which is on Disney Plus, and it's only 3 episodes in, so I'm probably going to talk about it, or Ed, you and I will talk about it when there's more episodes
in like a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I did Severance, which is on Apple TV Plus, and it is fantastic.
I watched The Lost City, which is currently still in theaters. It was from Paramount, so probably in many months it will be on Paramount Plus, maybe.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
All right.
And I watched Space Force, which had previously been on the podcast, and I Want You Back, also previously on the podcast, as well as Ali Wong, Don Wong, also previously on the podcast. So, in case you missed those, now I'm re-recommending them.
It's a reminder to watch them. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. And John, do you want to take us out or you want me to do it?
Who, me? No.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for listening. And follow us on all of our social channels at Podcast Watching. And definitely subscribe and give us a rating. And you can
5 stars only.
And comments. And thank you for listening to
What
We're
We're
Watching.